You know, with all the shuffling going on with all the various Fox properties, one of the films, because it has been pushed so far back, it's not coming out till August, but one of the films that has kind of been falling off our radar a lot is the New Mutants. But lest we forget that movie is coming out, it is coming. And it seems right now, when you listen to the producer of the film, Simon Kinberg, who is, by the way, directing the upcoming X-Men Dark Phoenix, Simon Kinberg said they're still not really sure if this movie is going to be R-rated or PG-13 rated. I mean, the film is pretty much done, but they're still not sure if it's going to end up being PG or PG-13 or R-rated. Here's what he had to say, and I'll tell you right before we even get to his quote here. I love what he had to say. Here's what Simon Kinberg had to say about New Mutants. He said, it's the kind of movie that could go R, or it could be a hard PG-13. As I was saying before, in terms of subgenres or the genre, it is obviously teased as a horror film, and most horror films these days are R-rated. But it stars a very young cast, so we'll see. It really is what the movie wants to be. The studio is open to either rating. Traditionally, superhero movies are PG-13, other than Logan and Deadpool movies, and generally horror films are R-rated. So we'll see where this one falls. It's a very scary, edgy movie. What the line I love from Simon Kinberg in here is this. It's right in the middle there. It really is what the movie wants to be. Now, remember, movie studios take their movies and submit them to the MPAA, and the MPAA then gives it a rating. The studio doesn't give their own movie a rating. The MPAA gives their movie a rating. What it sounds like to me, what Fox is doing with New Mutants, is exactly how you should handle this. Don't worry whether or not you want this movie to be PG-13. And don't worry if you want this movie to be rated R. Put that out of your head. Like, I understand a lot of studios do worry about that, and sometimes it's justified. But for a movie like this, what it sounds like to me is that they're going to go, we're not going to worry about PG-13 or R. We're not worried about it. We're just going to make our movie. We're not going to put in extra F-bombs just to get the R, and we're not going to cut a bunch of stuff out just to get the PG-13. We're going to make our movie the way we're making the movie, and then we're going to give it to the MPAA, and they're going to give it whatever rating they want, and we don't care. If the MPAA sees our movie, and we've made the movie that we want, and they give it a PG-13, fine, no problem. If they look at our movie and decide, nah, this thing's rated R, fine, we're comfortable with that. It just seems to me, taking from Kinberg's comments, that seems to be the approach that Fox is taking. And I'll be honest with you, I wish more studios would take that approach. Don't make something R just because that's the trendy thing to do. Don't throw in extra F-bombs and extra boob shots or whatever just so you can get the R rating so we can be cool. Oh, look, guys, we've got the R rating. We're cool. Don't do that. Don't slash a bunch of stuff out of your movie just to get a PG-13, unless like you really want your movie to be PG-13. There are understandable circumstances for that. But I love this notion of just saying, you know what, screw it. I don't care whether our movie gets a PG-13 or an R. All we care about is we're going to make our movie the way we want to make it. And then we're going to take that movie we made, we're going to give it to the ratings board, and the board's going to give it whatever rating they want to give it. If it ends up being PG-13, fine. If it ends up being rated R, fine. And I love that approach. Again, I don't know if New Mutants is going to be a good movie or a bad movie, if it's going to be one of the most horrible things since Catwoman, if it's going to be one of the best things since The Dark Knight. I have no idea. I'm just saying, from a studio's perspective and from a filmmaking point of view, I like this approach. And I wish more films would do that. So whether or not that becomes a trend, who knows? We'll have to wait and see. All right, with that stuff out of the way now, guys, let's get to our main topics today.